This is another tools you can use video, and today's tool is called Google Keep. So this is a really useful tool that comes along with your Google Apps account, and you can use it to just keep yourself organized. And it's something that you can teach your students to use as well because they also have a Google Apps account. So what are some things that you can do with it? Well, of course, once you get into Google Keep, and it's just keep.google.com, right? Or you can go to the square of squares and go to more, and then there's Google Keep right there. So you can take a note. So you can make a reminder. So you just put a title here like items to do today. And so maybe you need to make a lesson for chapter 3. Right? And there you go. So, and then you can add more items to that list by just clicking on the list and then, grade chapter 2 quiz. And there you go. So it makes like a to-do list for you. You can also set a reminder. So, I want to do this today at a certain time, like this evening. You can tell it to repeat or does not repeat. And then it will give you a reminder in your Google account. So if you go over here to reminders, there it is. It has a reminder. And it'll tell you that you need to do it at a certain time. You can even add collaborators. So you can just come in here and put in the email of somebody that you know. Right, and I can add a collaborator to my note, and that person is now a collaborator. I can delete that person just as easily, and now I don't have any collaborators on that note. Okay. You can change the color of the note, so if I want it to be any specific color, I can add an image to the note from my computer, and I can archive it. So that means it went away. So I can just go back here and under archive, and should be able to restore my note. Right there. By unarchiving it, and it went back to the note. So here's the archive button. If I archive it, it goes here, and then I can unarchive it and put it there. I can get rid of my reminder if I want by just clicking that little button right there. I could also make this a task list, right? So if I have a list of tasks that I need to do, or a list of items, so school supplies needed, right? So I need pencils, lined paper, and a notebook, right? I can make that list. It's got little check boxes next to it, so that if I go to the store and I find pencils and notebook, but not the lined paper, I can just check those off. And I can uncheck them too. I can put them back on the list. And the handy thing is of course there's both an iOS and an Android app, so you can access your list that you make from your phone when you go places, right? So some of the things that you can do, of course, is that you can come up here in the settings. You can change the order in which it adds new items, right? If you wanted to add it from the top down instead of the bottom up. And when you check things off, right, it puts them at the bottom. If you want to change that, I can come up here in my settings and tell it to put it at the top, right? Or it just doesn't move them to the bottom, right? It just leaves them where they are. Right. And then if I go here, put my new items at the top. So now if I make a new, hit enter, see it puts my new item at the top instead of at the bottom. So I'll warm up exercise for Thursday on the board. Right. And if I go to my settings, I can just change that back to the way they were before. You can also disable sharing, right? And you can disable the rich link previews, right? So if I put a link in here, such as a website like www.cnn.com, close, right? It should create a rich link preview. And I can disable that right there. I can change my morning, afternoon, and evening default times. So if I want my morning to start 7 a.m., which is when my school day starts, and I could start my afternoon at noon instead of 1, and I want my evening to start at 3:30. So that's when I get out of school. Save. Right. So now when I create a new note that has a reminder, like get a haircut, right? And I want to create a reminder later today. Yeah, it should give me those evening, morning, afternoon, night times. I can hit that at evening, save. Now, as soon as I get out of school, it's going to remind me, get a haircut. So these are also great tools that you can use with your students, help them to create reminders or lists of to-dos or tasks, right? And you can share them. You can share tasks. You can make a shared task list. They can share tasks within a team, right? They can create one of these lists or a to-do list within a team, and they can share it with each other. And use Google Keep as a way to help students just get their assignments done and get things done in a timely manner. And just teach them some task management skills that will be useful no matter whether they're going to college or into the workforce. Right. This has been Google Keep. I hope this has been a useful tool you can use.